What if you used Performance Max campaigns for like 90% of all your campaigns in Google Ads? How would your account perform? Would you increase revenue? Would you overspend on brand? A lot of possible mistakes that might happen if you do this. And this is actually something I did back in July through November, December of 2022. So kind of right during that migration of Smart Shopping to Performance Max, I had a new brand come to me and say, hey, what should we do with Smart Shopping? We have PMAX coming up right now. The migration's in full effect. We think a lot of other competitors and advertisers in their space are not using and adopting that. So we wanted to think, hey, what if we just put all of our spend, about 85 to 90% of our spend, in PMAX campaigns? What would happen? What would be the process? What would be the strategy if we did that? And we did. We did it for about 4 or 5 months until we started adding other campaigns later on in the year to kind of hit the holes that PMAX did not cover. But it was a great learning experience, kind of seeing what can we do, how flexible and how dependable is PMAX for an e-commerce brand. And I believe if you're not e-commerce, if you're more on the lead gen side for a local or even for a SaaS, I do think PMAX can be good for you. I don't think it's as easy as plug and play as e-com is with the data feed and such. A lot more measures need to be put into place if you're kind of like a SaaS or local, kind of like you need that lead gen side to make sure you're not getting bot traffic and actual quality forms. And I'll have probably another video on that pretty soon. But I think the main thing for PMAX when I learned was how adaptable PMAX can be. So I want to run through kind of some of the stuff that we did, what I learned, what the pros and cons were, and what actually resulted in that 4 or 5 months of just running straight PMAX, pretty much all the campaigns. We did have a small search brand campaign and a couple of remarketing campaigns, just aid PMAX, even though, as you know, those don't really spend. But this was back 6-ish months ago now, and we wanted to see how did PMAX really perform and thrive in that whole Smart Shopping migration that took place back then, which was a crazy time period for advertisers like us and for any e-commerce brands. So let's get into it. Overall, the strategy of our PMAX campaigns were Smart Shopping was performing really well, even Standard Shopping for this brand. They had a lot of different collections, a lot of SKUs. I think if I remember correctly, they had over 5,000 or 6,000 SKUs. So, in the grand scheme of things, probably small to a lot of you guys that are watching. And another way, probably a lot bigger than a lot of you guys that are watching as well. So it's probably right in the middle. We wanted to think what was working Smart Shopping wise and Standard Shopping wise. Let's keep that same strategy. So let's move campaigns by collection of products that were in the same theme, around the same margin that we could shoot for if we used value-based bidding strategies. We didn't want to have a product that needed 100% return and also when they needed 1,000%, because that just would not work with having one bidding strategy as a whole in PMAX. So we kept it around the same kind of product margin, and we also wanted to give PMAX the full ability of what the tool could possibly do for you. So we don't want to gamify the system with doing anything feed only. That does work, and what we did evolve to that in some of the campaigns, but at first we wanted to give Google as much firepower and assets as humanly possible just to see if Google found success on YouTube, search, display, or just found success on shopping, since Smart Shopping and Standard Shopping was so good in that account. So after the first, initial learning period for the first 3 to 6 weeks, some campaigns were really optimized by week 2 and 3. Some took 6-7 weeks, and a couple didn't even, optimize at all. It wasn't all 100% success rate. But the main thing, we learned that if you give Google a theme of products and enough assets, Google performed pretty well, especially since this account had a really good performance history over the last 2-3 years of shopping dominant campaigns. Google pretty much knew who the audience was and who they were targeting and what their products did for those people that they're trying to target. So it was not a brand new account. So again, this is probably skewed in a lot of ways. If you're a brand new advertiser and you were successful on Facebook, if you came to Google and you want to think, hey, I just want to have a one catch-all campaign PMAX because that's what Google's pushing and I have no account history, may not have the same results for you. But for this client, it worked very well. One of the main things we wanted to do was, and how we optimized everything was, one, data feed stuff. That was one of our paramount kind of priorities every week was, hey, what can we add to the data feed? Can we improve certain titles, descriptions, add more images? Can we do more to the backend attributes that you never even see on the shopping network? Can we push promotions? Can we push customer reviews? All that stuff that I think gets neglected over time, especially for a seasoned e-commerce account where you think, oh, my data feed's good. It's fine. It's performing well. I think you should at least look at that every month. And if you're not getting good shopping results, probably weekly. Think, what can I add to this? What products are underperforming? What can I add to my product listing ads as a whole, just to stand out from competitors, right? Add your promotions, add your customer reviews, all that good stuff. And the other thing was actually utilizing the reporting features that, 6 months ago, we didn't have a lot, but we did have some predefined reports, some stuff you could dig through the data and kind of see, what was spending well, what was not, what products were getting a lot of spend that couldn't get that return back. Utilize all your attribution channels. So this client did not have any third-party attribution. So we just used Google Ads attribution and analytics to kind of see which campaigns ebbed and flow, what products got clicked on that did not convert in the end. It's not easy back then to kind of see all the data. The landing pages report was actually a very good goal of mine to kind of see where traffic was getting sent to. Could we take away some of the stuff that wasn't maybe needed? They actually had a really good optimized blog on the site as well. Over time, just noticed like, hey, cheap traffic was going there, just didn't ever convert on the back end, so we kind of paused those. That is as an example. Overall, the cons of this, there was brand inclusion as a whole. We did have a small brand search campaign set up to kind of force PMAX not to get all brand, but I think at the time about 20-25% of branded traffic did come through PMAX. So in the 4 to 5 months we had with PMAX, it was just over 7 figures in revenue. So about, say 250K of that, of the million, was in brand. Now, on the hindsight of that, we were okay with it because we knew from an attribution standpoint, it was not a one click from an ad to one purchase. It was a multiple click period for most of the sales cycles of the products, even though they're on the cheaper side, probably $100, $200. The products themselves and the inventory was not something where you just click an ad and buy it right away. It's definitely a process of either trying stuff on, getting the right size for you, or asking your partner if they actually want that as a gift, right? So we knew we'd have brand stuff in PMAX and we're okay with that, but that was about 25% to be as transparent as possible. Pros of this strategy was it was very consistent to kind of see performance week over week. We didn't really have any dips in performance, especially when we had, I think at the time, up to 6 PMAXs running across 6 different collections. We didn't really see any negative effects of either post-sales, pre-sale, during the sale, because we had Labor Day during the time. We hit the very end of July 4th traffic. That's where we kind of started. And then we also had Black Friday, which performed really well too. So overall, it's very consistent, very easy to scale, about 10-20% every 2 to 3 weeks. I took the slower approach. I didn't want to push it every week, like how you could maybe in standard shopping. I took it more like smart shopping, where you wanted to wait at least 2 weeks, kind of see the data fluctuate, and then give it another target and kind of see if it can catch up to that, increased audiences they're trying to reach. And overall, it made a really simple account structure to kind of see if we have, these 6 main collections we're pushing, how are they doing, what products are doing really well, what can we add to the, can we get more products of this kind of stuff? Can we push less here? Do we need to have a less target to reach this ROAS of this, or MER, whatever you want to use as a success metric, right? It made it very easy to report on stuff and kind of see what was working, what was not working. And then my ending thoughts here on kind of what can be achieved with pushing for all PMAX, right? I don't really recommend this to every brand. I don't think every advertiser should do this. I still haven't done this since then, actually. This is my one-off, and I had good success with it. Client was very happy, but I still have to have a good amount of control. I think with PMAX getting more and more information coming out, right, like a month ago now, we got more stuff coming the way with account level negatives, individual listing and asset reporting, more kind of features that way. I think PMAX as a whole will be continue to kind of be used as a good kind of step. If you have everything good in the account, let's add PMAX and kind of see if we can scale here a little bit easier. But it also had the cons of it where we needed to add, like some didn't perform really well with a full PMAX. It kind of had too much display to YouTube and was just kind of spending to spend that way. And we we're getting the return we needed. So we had to kind of force school into the rabbit hole of feed only. I think that's still a very valid strategy. I know with standard shopping, attribution is not the best right now. So PMAX does over-attribute that way. But overall, myself and my team and my client were very happy with kind of pushing the envelope when a lot of competitors, they were riding against the wave of PMAX, especially during the summer to fall of 2022 when it was being forced upon all of us. So I think we got a head start there. And Google rewarded us with that aspect of it. And I set up the account for a very easy success of like, hey, we have these main products that we're pushing, main collections we're pushing with PMAX. Now, where can we add other campaigns? Can we add YouTube? Can we add Discovery? Can we add more search stuff? Can we add special standard shopping campaigns? Can we even add more PMAX campaigns, right? So it just gave us as a whole a good account level strategy that was brand new to us, brand new to me at the time too. And if you get anything away from this video, I think don't be afraid to test PMAX, but you also need to know PMAX is a very big beast. And if you're not sure how to use it, drop a comment below or ask anything like that. Hopefully you guys can get something from this video and not be afraid to either use it or just to try out as the new experiment that just came out for either the brand uplift or standard shopping experiment. That's a video I'll talk about very soon since I'm having a couple experiments right now. But don't be afraid to use it. And if you're an e-commerce brand having success with standard shopping or with a little bit of PMAX, try some more stuff, see what happens. And I would love to answer any questions you have. Have a great day.